What is going on, you guys? It's your girl Diana, back at you with another YouTube video. The Feraligatr raids have been live for a couple of days, so today I'll be going over how you can solo the raid in case you don't have a group to take it down. So let's go ahead and hop into it. So per usual, before we hop into the actual strategy, let's take a peek at what you'll be going up against and what you're going to want to bring in order to actually solo the raid. So Feraligatr is of course level 100 since this is a 7-star, and it does have the Dark Tera type for this raid. It does have its ability Sheer Force, which means that any moves that have additional effects will get their power increased, but you won't have those additional effects. Its main moveset is going to be Crunch, Liquidation, Psychic Fangs, and Ice Punch. However, keep in mind that it does have ways to increase its own stats like attack and speed, so it does have access to setup moves as well. As for what you're gonna bring, you're gonna want to go ahead and rely on a group of Pokemon, aka Phalanx. Phalanx is a pure fighting type Pokemon, and for this raid you are going to want it to have the fighting Tera type. For its held item, you are going to want to have it holding the Shell Bell just so that you can get some HP recovery every time you use a damage dealing move. And its ability is actually really cool. It's Battle Armor, which means that it's not going to get hit by any critical hits. As for its EV spread, it is going to be full HP and full defense. However, you are going to want a speed boosting nature, and I highly recommend that you hyper train your speed stat just so that you're able to use your setup moves and of course attack before you're hit by Psychic Fangs, since of course you are going to take super effective damage from Psychic Fangs. And all of its moves in general are going to hurt because of its ability. Basically, it's safe to say that you could probably hyper train every single one of its stats except for special attack. But as for your moveset, you're going to want to go ahead and give Phalanx Protect, which is kind of odd for a raid, I know, Iron Defense, Rock Smash, and Body Press. The reason that we have Protect on this moveset is because you're going to want to protect turn 1, because turn 1 the NPCs always give you a defense cheer, so it boosts your defense. So you want to make sure that you get that before you do get hit by like a Psychic Fangs. Iron Defense is of course going to boost your defense stat, which not only helps you take any physical hits a lot better, but it's also going to tie in with Body Press, since Body Press goes based off of your defense stat. And Rock Smash does do super effective damage, however it also lowers Feraligatr's defense. But now that you have an idea of what you're going to be going up against and what you're going to be bringing, let's go ahead and hop into the actual solo strategy. So luckily the strategy that we're going to be using is actually very straightforward. However, I do recommend resetting if you do get paired with the Heracross NPC, because it starts attacking Feraligatr like too much and basically ruins your entire setup process. So if you get paired with Heracross, just reset. But I'm going to go ahead and use Protect turn 1. As you can see, Feraligatr does use Sword Dance turn 1, so already its attack is going to be crazy. So we want to avoid getting hit by that just right off the bat and wait for the NPCs to use their Defense Cheer turn 1 as well. And as you can see, it was trying to Psychic Fang us like from the beginning, already so aggressive, and for what? But now that we've done that, you're gonna go ahead and set up an Iron Defense for the next 2 turns. And as you can see, it does also steal your Tera Orb energy, so that's just something to keep in mind. But here is our first Iron Defense. And we did get lucky because it did get a full para this turn, so we didn't take any damage. And here's Iron Defense number 2. And so now that we've Iron Defense twice, we're gonna be able to take those Psychic Fangs a lot better. However, it was fully paralyzed once again, so we did get really lucky. But now you're gonna go ahead and use Rock Smash for the next 2 turns. 1, this is gonna start getting some physical hits in so that you can start charging your Tera energy since it did get stolen. And 2, like I mentioned earlier, it does have the chance to lower Feraligatr's defense stat as well. And as you just saw, those Psychic Fangs did a lot less damage than they would have done considering they're super effective, and Feraligatr used Sword Dance. But after you've set up your 2 Rock Smashes, the next thing that you're going to want to go ahead and do is use a Body Press. And at this point, if you're not as lucky as me, you should probably be close to fainting, so you're okay to just faint at this point. However, if you are lucky like me, just use Body Press until you actually do faint, but obviously we'll faint here in the next turn. So here we're getting hit by a Psychic Fangs to knock us out. However, since we have done enough physical damage, we'll be able to come back at full health and immediately Terastalize. So now, like I mentioned, now that we're back, we are going to immediately Terastalize, and you're going to go ahead and actually use Iron Defense for the next 3 turns. And I know that you're probably scared of the Psychic Fangs since we basically lost all of our setup, but you should be fine. Everything will be okay, especially with the iron defenses. So for the next 3 turns, just use iron defense. So here's our first iron defense. We are going to get hit by this Psychic Fangs. It does quite a bit of damage, but it'll do a lot less after our second iron defense. So let's go ahead and set that up. Iron defense number 2, getting hit by another Psychic Fangs. We're still relatively okay with HP, and we're going to go for our third iron defense. Iron defense number 3, getting hit by a final Psychic Fangs, and we're still alive. I told you we'd be okay. But now you're gonna go ahead and use Body Press so that you can get some HP recovery from your Shell Bell. And boom, does a nice little chunk of damage. And we are back up to like half health. And now we are getting hit by another Psychic Fangs. However, you're gonna go ahead and set up a defense cheer here. Getting hit by another Psychic Fangs is okay. We're still good on HP. And now you're just free to spam Body Press until Feraligatr faints. And you'll see that it does a lot more damage now after the defense cheer as well, since like I mentioned, Body Press does go based off of your defense stat. And since we did do a lot more damage, we also got a lot more HP recovery back. And Psychic Fangs is doing a lot less damage as well. So it's literally just like a win-win. So here I go again with another Body Press that should bring us close to breaking the shield. Yep, should be able to take it out next turn. And we're also back up at full health. And as you just saw, Psychic Fangs does like 3 damage at this point. There's a Dragon Dance. Like I said, this thing gets multiple ways to increase its stats, which is super annoying. But that's why Iron Defense and Defense Cheers come in handy here. But here is another Body Press. That Psychic Fangs did a little more because of the Dragon Dance. But we should be able to break the shield this turn and bring it into the almost red. Getting hit by a Liquidation, which actually does a lot less than Psychic Fangs. Here's another Body Press. Boom. It's now in the red. And if you ever get like frozen or anything, you're free to use a heal cheer as well. But obviously we haven't had to deal with that. Here's another Body Press, and there you have it. You have now beat the 7-star Feraligatr. The rewards for this one are, of course, some Herba Mystica if you are lucky, and protein, as well as Tera shards, candies, all of that good stuff too. But there you have it. That is how you can easily solo the 7-star Feraligatr raids. Leave a comment down below with what you ended up using, as I'm sure, per usual, people would love other options. But that's gonna go ahead and wrap it up for today's video. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful, and if you did, I kindly suggest that you consider subscribing so I can continue to make content for you guys. And if you are already subscribed and you would like another way to support the channel, feel free to check out the merch store. There is a link down below in the description that takes you to not only my merch store, but also all of my other socials so you can keep up with what I'm doing on a daily basis. But thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you to those of you who have joined the channel as members. I appreciate you all so much. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.